Welcome everyone, both here in person and also, on the live stream for anybody that is watching on the live stream and anybody that is watching afterwards, the recording. Today is another lesson for the current Conchas y Café series, and I also wanted to congratulate everybody that was featured in the last issue. This is the last issue right here. It's called See My Words. See, hopefully you can kind of see it there without too much glare. This one is being mailed out right now. It is, arriving in mailboxes as we speak, and we will be actually coordinating a reading from that particular issue soon. So for those of you that were part of the last series, just know you'll be getting another message from me soon. Today is, again, another lesson that is a very interesting one. I had the chance to see the materials beforehand, and it's going to be led tonight by Abraham. So let's give a big warm welcome to Abraham, our master teaching artist. And with that, it is all yours, my friend.
Well, hi. Well, before we begin, we have a question on the chat. It's asking for the live stream website. Can you put it there in the message, Luis?
Well, on the live stream side, it's actually being live streamed currently on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, and also on our Twitter.
Okay, cool.
So, multiple options.
There you go. And let me start sharing then. Let's start today's lecture. Blah, 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 blah. I had too many windows. Okay, here we go. And do let me know if you guys can see it. Why am I looking at something different?
Abraham, can you make it bigger?
Hold on a second. So you guys cannot see this?
No,
it looks like it's backwards.
It's kind of small.
Yep. Well, hold on a second. Crap. Oops. Hold on a second. Where am I going? It should be this one. Okay. Yeah, I think this is the maximum for these. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's 200. That's gonna be the maximum of it. So
today we're gonna. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Okay. So today we're gonna start by summoning whoever wants to, whoever speaks Spanish or English. So I'm gonna give you 1 minute to see who can decipher this that is in front of you. So Luis, can you time it, please? So whoever is ready, raise your hand and say what it says, okay?
It looks like it's reversed. It's backwards to me. The lettering?
Well, if you can read it, go for it.
No. It's backwards.
That's the point.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm giving you the challenge to see who can read it.
Yeah. No hable.
Luis, is the time ticking, right?
No hable español.
Time is definitely counting down.
The first one's in English. The second one's in Spanish.
There is a hand raised, I believe, from Maria.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Maria.
All knowledge which ends in words will die as quickly as it came to life, with the exception of the writer of the written word, which is its mechanical part.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Maria. So I guess we got a winner. I don't know, we're going to send the Target gift card ad. So here it is. You are right. All knowledge which ends in words will die as quickly as it came to life, with the exception of the written word, which is its mechanical part. This is a quote from Leonardo di Ser Piero de Vinci, born 15 April 1452, passed away 2nd of May 1519. Was, again, no need to introduction, but let's do a little more on this. Was an Italian polymath of the High Renaissance who was active as a painter, draftsman, engineer, scientist, theorist, sculptor, and architect. And before we move on to what do you guys think about this, I'm gonna give it in Spanish, okay? So en español, Todo conocimiento que termina en palabras morirá tan pronto como llegó a la vida, a excepción de la palabra escrita, que es su parte mecánica. Esto fue escrito por Leonardo Ser Piero de Vinci. Nació 15 de abril de 1452 y falleció el 2 de mayo de 1519. Fue un erudito italiano del Alto Renacimiento que se desempeñó como pintor, dibujante, ingeniero, científico, teórico, escultor y arquitecto. So, what do you guys think about this quote? So, ¿qué piensan acerca de esta cita?
I'll say something. As I was sharing with Brother Lewis as a jester, one picture is worth 1,000 words. And so what to me, what it is saying, that knowledge, let me see where it says, knowledge which ends in words. So the words, you know, there's an old saying, they go in one ear and out the other, because once it's said, you know, it's possibly, it's soon forgotten. But if it's written down, it's like, how you say, is it written in stone? I mean, it's there. And unless you burn it, you know, so it's going to be there. And that's just for the first line, you know, it's the words are going to die as quickly as they came to life, except the exception of the written word. And when you say written word, I thought you were going to say the Bible, you know, that's a concrete thing. Yeah, but that's my understanding of it.
Yeah, that's definitely correct. Anybody else who wants to comment on this quote? ¿Alguien más que quiera discutir esta cita? I don't see any hands. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, Leonardo da Vinci was the leader of a clandestine society. And by clandestine society, we still don't really know. And he did secret codes and messages in his artwork. His notes are all written backwards, like Luis was saying, which is mirror writing. It is unclear exactly why Leonardo did this. It has been suggested that he may have felt that some of his military inventions would be too destructive and powerful if they fell into the wrong hands. Therefore, he protected his notes by using this reversed writing method. Other scholars point out that this type of encrypted was fairly simple to break. One needs only to hold the paper up to a mirror to read it. If Leonardo was using it for security, he probably was only concerned about hiding the content from a casual observer. And again, there's other theories also, like the ink will smear on his sleeves or something. So we still don't really know why he did this. So en español, Leonardo da Vinci era el líder de una sociedad clandestina, y eso pues entre comillas porque no sabemos muy bien, por eso es secreta, ¿verdad? Y escondió códigos y mensajes secretos en su obra de arte. Todas sus notas están escritas al revés, con escritura de espejo. No está claro exactamente por qué Leonardo hizo esto. Se ha sugerido que pudo haber sentido que algunos de sus inventos militares serían demasiado destructivos y poderosos si caen en las manos equivocadas. Por lo tanto, protegió sus notas utilizando este método de escritura invertida. Otros estudiosos señalan que este tipo de encriptación era bastante fácil de descifrar. Uno solo necesita sostener el papel frente a un espejo para leerlo. Si Leonardo lo estaba usando por seguridad, probablemente solo era para uno que otro chismoso que hubiera podido pasar, ¿verdad? Y ver los papeles, porque no está tan difícil, si se dan cuenta, de leerlo, pero es una forma de esconder escritura y es a lo que vamos el día de hoy en formas de escribir para que no todos sepan lo que estamos escribiendo, ¿ok? Y hay alguien en el chat, sorry. Okay, I think the codices. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next challenge, I'll say. So again, this is in English, so whoever can read it in 1 minute or some of it will get another, I don't know, a star. We ran out of prizes.
There you go. That's more realistic. You get a star.
We don't have that budget.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, Luis, time it. So whoever can read this, go for it. You have 1 minute. Tick, tack, tick, tack.
For those that downloaded the handout, no cheating.
Yeah, no cheating.
Come on, young people.
Again, Luis, let me know, except I don't know the time. I don't have it.
Abraham, are you talking to me?
No, I say, Luis, do you have the time? I don't know how much.
Abraham, can I read the next one?
Well, we still going through this one, so hold on a second,
Okay.
and then we'll move on. So this is the challenge. Who can read this one?
It is a challenge.
It definitely it is.
I don't think you're getting any points, my friend.
It's really harder for me to read it, so I'm not gonna take a risk of reading because it has lots of words written.
It looks like Arabic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more like
I really
an alien
don't understand how to read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had
so
okay Hebrew, and that's what it looks like.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So again, since we have totally failed in this challenge, let's get to it. Let's decipher these. Okay. So this is what's happening. This is called Pig Pen Cipher. The Pig Pen Cipher is a substitution cipher that was used by the Freemasons in the 18th century. They substituted each letter of the alphabet with a picture. And I'll get more into this, but let me first do it in Spanish. So Pig Pen Cipher. El cifrado Pig Pen es un cifrado de sustitución que fue utilizado por los masones en el siglo XVIII. Sustituyeron cada letra del alfabeto con una imagen. So, here is how it's done, okay? So this is what's happening. So we have, this is what represents each letter, right? So we have the A, the B, the C, the D, E, and so on. And you have to use that specific space, right? And so we have also the extra letter, which is for the letter ñ, for para los que hablan español. That's another letter that I wanted to introduce. And here's a couple examples. So we have A equals this one over here, okay? So this is the corner, which is just right, the corner, right? And then N, you use the middle, the square with a dot inside, right? And for the S, you have basically a shape of a B, which is over here. And if you want to see, you will have basically almost like an A with a dot inside. So this is how you're gonna basically substitute each letter for one of these, right? And as you can see in the sample on the top, this is how we'll end up looking. And no, I didn't write this by hand. I've actually found a font that uses that, but the font doesn't really work with Word. So actually I had to use Photoshop to work with it. It was a little tricky, but still it's a little tricky, but that's the point, okay? So any questions before we move on? Here is your chance.
We don't have anything like that for homework, I know.
Love it.
That was a maniacal laugh, man.
Yes, I
We do have a
Okay.
question, though, I think, from Roots.
Okay, Roots.
It was more of a comment. I was gonna say that came to mind with the previous writer,
With Da
because I
Vinci?
read that, yes, that Satanists do things backwards.
Yes.
So
So my question to you is, why would you say the Satanists would do it backwards?
I don't know. I read somewhere that they do things backwards. Like maybe it's their code, I guess. So when you said that the Mason code, that just came together for me.
Interesting. And sorry, Luis, before I mention something. Luis?
Yeah, the Freemasons are they meet in secret and they have secret codes, like she said. Yeah, same way like the Order of the Eastern Stars, and yeah, so yeah, they started out with just being to themselves, and then the people of color wanted to join and they couldn't, and so they started a group of their own, and yeah, so it goes on from there. But everything is in secret, so very few people know about all of that.
That good. Nettie?
There are other languages that are written from right to left. I think Hebrew, Arabic, and a couple of few. I think Armenian might be another one.
Yeah, and just for collaborate with Roots, I think the whole thing about writing kind of the Satanist thing is because kind of the opposite of Christ, supposed to. So they just going backwards. Even the cross, I think they just flipped it, stuff like that. But another reason is for people to write this way is so not everybody can read it, right? So that's the whole point. And especially if you have let's say the church, and you're writing something that the church might not like in Da Vinci's time, you may want to write it in a way that it's not easily deciphered, right? So you don't get caught and basically passed away or tortured or so on, right?
Yeah, it was all secrets.
So it's a way of fighting censorship, if you think about it, right? So with this, we're gonna move on to the reading of today, and so this is the writing for today. So I'm gonna ask who wants to read this part?
May I try?
Go, Louis.
Abraham,
Sorry,
can I try too?
We already have one, but next, if we have another one, we'll begin next. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, let me get my glasses. 1 second.
Go for it. And that's, yeah, again, this is the maximum size of this. So, no worries. This is the perfect time for commercials, right, Luis?
No.
Okay, I'm back. I don't even want to leave. I like my class so much. Okay, glasses on.
Okay, whenever you are ready.
Huh?
Whenever you are ready.
Oh no, I was saying my glasses are on. I am ready. I think. Okay. O exile of the mountain of Substitution. Did I say it correctly?
Oblivion.
Okay. All the jewels of your names, stumbling in the mire of silence. Oh man, these words. What is that word? Obliterated?
Obliterated.
Obliterated memories, your light blue memories in the silty or the salty?
Silty.
I'm messing this all up, aren't I? What is that word? Silty? Silty?
Silty. A silt.
Okay. In the silty mine of a wave in the sea of forgetting, where is a clear, flowing stream of your thoughts? Which thriving hand? Oh man, somebody else read it because I'm not
okay.
Right.
Alina, you still want to read this one?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Let's start from the top. Just
I can't
For the
hardly
sake of it.
see it.
Okay.
with glasses.
So whenever you are ready, Alina, go for it.
Okay, I'm ready. It says, thy blue memories, O exiles of the mountain of oblivion, O the Jews of your names, slumbering in the mire of silence. O your obliterated memories, your light blue memories, in the searching mind of a wave in the sea of forgetting. Where is the clear, flowing stream of your thoughts, which seizing hand plundered the pure golden statue of your dream? And in the storm which gives birth to oppression, where was your ship, your serene silver mooncraft gone? After this bitter cold which gives birth to death, if the sea should fall calm, if the cloud should release the heart's knotted sorrows, if the maiden of moonlight should bring love, offer a smile, if the mountain should soften its heart, adorn itself with green, become fruitful, will one of your names above the peaks become bright as the sun, while the rise of your memories, your light blue memories, in the eyes of fishes weary of flood waters and fearful of the rain of oppression, become a reflection of hope. All exiles of the mountain of the Zion.
Thank you, Alina. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
and now
thank you.
we are going to move on to the Spanish version. So for that, can somebody read this one?
I can go.
Go for
Yo
it.
puedo.
Martin San Juan. Oh, no, hold on. Who is it? Who said it?
Neri,
Oh, Neri. Sorry, I saw a hand. So like, okay, Neri. Whenever you are ready.
recuerdos azul claro o exiliados de la montaña del olvido o las joyas de vuestros nombres dormidas en el fango del silencio o tus recuerdos borrados, tus recuerdos azul claro en la mente arenosa de una ola en el mar del olvido. ¿Dónde está la corriente clara y fluida de tus pensamientos? ¿Qué mano ladrona saqueó la estatua de oro puro de tus sueños? En esta tormenta que da a luz la opresión, ¿a dónde ha ido tu nave, tu serena nave lunar plateada? Después de este frío amargo que da la luz a la muerte, si el mar se calmara, si la nube soltara las penas anudadas del corazón, si la doncella de la luna debe traer amor, ofrece una sonrisa. Si la montaña ablanda su corazón, se adorna de verde, se fructiferó. ¿Será uno de vuestros nombres sobre los picos volverse brillante como el sol? ¿Será el surgimiento de tus recuerdos azul claro, a los ojos de los peces cansados de las inundaciones y temerosos de la lluvia de opresión, convertirse en el reflejo de la esperanza o exiliados de la montaña del olvido?
Thank you very much. So, what do you guys think about this poem? So, ¿qué piensan acerca de este poema?
Did anyone have any first reaction? Oh, I see a couple of hands. Let's start with San Juanita and then Gia.
Okay.
San Juanita first.
I try to see, of course, first the English, and ever since the beginning, it kind of gave me an idea of what it could be. And then the Spanish was a little bit more with Spanish. I mean, they don't sound the same way, of course. With the Spanish, it sounded like a very defined, harsh, thought for me, but it still gave me the same, which it sounds like it's talking about the brain, the mind, the memory. It sounds like, maybe I'm wrong, but it sounds like they're talking to the memory, like, all these, memories that are gone, that are disappearing, That's what it sounds like to me in both poems. So probably talking about memory and how, all these, las montañas hablan de su corazón. It's like all these things are getting great and better with time, but, the memory is not. The memory is, como dice algo del oblivion, que es el olvido, exiliados de la montaña del olvido. So that's what it sounds like to me. Maybe I'm wrong, like I said, but that's the feeling I got all the time since the beginning.
Well, yeah, the feeling definitely has some of that about memories, right?
You take it back up to the top.
Yep, go for it. And also we have, I think Gia is next, right?
I don't know.
Yes.
I was. Oh.
So, I got the feeling I took it more literally. To me, it felt like ships taking like slaves or people migrating or something from one place to another, and that part of the oblivion and is trying to forget those memories.
Okay.
So you're saying it's trying to forget something, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely has some parts that feel like giving you the sense that it's not talking about just mountains, right? Because it's talking about, it has some words that are interesting, like oppression, right? Or sorrows, or what's the other one that's...
Could I try?
Yeah, Abraham, I was going to ask you if you could let Miss King, because I would like to hear hers.
Did you what?
Miss King?
No, I was just going to take the first three lines because, my mind is always in the word. Not always. Hey.
I love to hear what she thinks.
No, it says like, exiles of the mountain of oblivions. And what does that word mean?
Obliterated?
Oblivion means, I'm sorry.
Oblivion,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm over here opening my mouth. Well, it's forgetfulness, like forgetfulness. Exiles of the mountains of the nothing,
Yeah, so it what I think about is when it says the exile, that means you are away from it. Once you and then it goes down to about the names and everything, and it's like what's it, slumbering? I can't read it. Slumbering,
slumbering.
In other words, to me, it's like I was once. You could be male or female, prince or princess. I mean, everybody knew my name. Everybody admired me. But now I was once up on the mountain, but now I'm in the valley. I am a nothing. I've had it, but now I'm homeless. That type of thing. And where's the other one? What is this? Oh, you're obliterated.
Obliterated.
What does that word mean, obliterated?
Destroyed.
Yeah, so all of that, I'm a nothing. In my own eyes, I failed. In other eyes, I've fallen. And it's like morals and ethics and I can't really put it in words what I really want to say, but he's lost it. I mean, he feels like he's a nothing or she's a nothing. She was once up there, and she was Miss Fine or he was Mr. Fine, and there's a lot of regrets. This it's sorrowful to his inner spirit. Yeah, he's going through it, or she's going through it.
Well, yeah, definitely you're getting the feeling of it, right? Especially with this, all the jewels of your names. It's something that's precious, right? You say you're precious, but it's still, you are basically forgotten in silence, right? So without further ado, we're gonna basically go into the context of this poem, okay?
Well, I'd like to, just before we do.
Hold on, somebody else?
Yeah, just really quick, I wanted to acknowledge the comments that were made in the chat. Paola observed that it reminded her a lot of Becker, a French poet, because of the repetition and the drama, and also just the charged emotion of the poem. And Carlos made a really interesting one that I thought was also, to me, kind of relevant. In the Spanish translation, it, according to Carlos, it sounds harsher, almost like the lyrics from Héroes del Silencio song. And for those that listen or have heard music by Héroes del Silencio, I think, you know, there is something there to that observation about, you know, the almost high drama of the language that's being used.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of drama and energy there that's somehow hidden just because some other words. So it's an interesting combination. And so let's get into it, okay? Let's see how we're gonna do this. Okay, so this poem was written by Nadia Anjuman, 1980 to 2005. In 2005, when she was 25 years old, Nadia Anjum published her first collection of poetry, Gole du Di, Smoky Flower, to the great acclaim. She was hailed for introducing a fresh language and youthful point of view into Dari poetry, particularly in her Ghazal, or pronounced Ghazal. I found a lot of different ways of saying on the internet, so I'm not 100% sure this one. It's a form of amatory poem or ode, and that's an important word, right? It's basically the ode, originating in Arabic poetry. Ghazal often deals with the topic of spiritual and romantic love, and may be understood as a poetic expression of both the pain of loss or separation from the beloved and the beauty of love in spite of that pain. Soon after the book was published, however, Anjuman was beaten to death. Many Afghanis believe that Anjuman was killed by her own husband and his family for the transgression of writing. And that's important to notice. So before we move on, we're gonna do in Spanish. Nadia Anjum, 1980 to 2005. En 2005, cuando tenía 25 años, Nadia Anjum publicó su primera colección de poesía, Gole du Di, Flower Ahumada, o Flor Ahumada, perdón, con gran éxito. Fue aclamada por introducir un lenguaje fresco y un punto de vista juvenil en la poesía Dari, particularmente en sus ghazal, pronunciación ghazal, y como lo estaba diciendo en inglés, que realmente no sé cómo se dice, lo intenté buscar en internet, pero no encontré una buena traducción.
Se dice ghazal.
¿Cómo se dice? Ghazal.
Yeah, ghazal.
Okay.
Es en inglés, pero eso es en español. La boldface es ghazal.
No, this is a different language. It's not English.
No, yo sé que no, pero okay. yo ya lo he estudiado en una clase de poesía, por eso te digo que...
Ghazal, there you go.
Ghazal,
you got a better one. Ghazal. Yeah. Thank you very much. Es una forma de poema u oda. Es interesante decir, ¿verdad? Este es el tipo de poesía amatoria que se origina en la poesía árabe. Los ghazals a menudo tratan de temas de amor espiritual y romántico y puede entenderse como una expresión de poética tanto del dolor, de la pérdida o separación del amor, como de la belleza del amor a pesar de ese dolor. Sin embargo, poco después de la publicación del libro, Anjuman fue asesinada a golpes. Muchos afganos creen que Anjum fue asesinada por su propio esposo y su familia por la transgresión de escribir. Es muy importante, ¿verdad? Por la transgresión de escribir. So, Anjuma was born and lived in Herat, the beloved sixth child of her large family. She graduated from high school despite a 2-year interruption caused by the Taliban rule in Afghanistan. During this time, she secretly studied literature and began her poetic career in clandestine meetings at the home of a literature professor. She later studied Dari literature at Herat University, where she was consistently the top student. Anjuma nació y vivió en Herat, la amada sexta hija de su numerosa familia. Se graduó de la escuela secundaria a pesar de una interrupción de 2 años causada por el regimiento talibán en Afganistán. Durante este tiempo estudió literatura en secreto e inició su carrera poética en reuniones clandestinas en la casa de un profesor de literatura. Más tarde estudió literatura Dari en la Universidad de Herat, donde siempre fue la mejor alumna. Anjuma felt a deep commitment to poetry, despite the risks in writing. For as long as I can remember, she wrote, I have loved poetry, and the chains with which 6 years of captivity under Taliban rule bound my feet led me to haltingly enter the arena of poetry with the foot of my pen. The encouragement of like-minded friends gave me the confidence to pursue this path. But even now, when I take the first step, the tip of my pen trembles, as do I, because I do not feel safe from stumbling on this path. When the way ahead is difficult, my steps unsteady. Anjuma sintió un profundo compromiso con la poesía, a pesar de los riesgos de la escritura. Desde que tenía memoria, escribió, me ha encantado la poesía y las cadenas con las que 6 años de cautiverio bajo el regimiento talibán me ataron los pies, me llevaron a entrar vacilante en la arena de la poesía con el pie de mi pluma. El aliento de enemigos con ideas similares me dio la confianza para seguir este camino. Pero incluso ahora, cuando doy el primer paso, la punta de mi pluma tiembla, al igual que yo, porque no me siento a salvo de tropezar en este camino. Cuando el camino por delante es difícil y mis pasos inseguros. In the Little Blue Memories, written weeks after the fall of the Taliban in 2001, Anjuman addresses the victims of politically enforced silence and asks, what is lost when one's voice is lost? The poem begins with the address to the nameless citizens of her country, the women, and it goes on to ask who has plundered the riches of their inner lives. En Recuerdos Azul Claro, escrito semanas después de la caída de los talibanes en 2001, Anjuman se dirige a las víctimas de silencio impuesto políticamente y pregunta qué se pierde cuando se pierde la voz. El poema comienza con un discurso a los ciudadanos anónimos del país, las mujeres, y continúa preguntando, ¿quién ha saqueado las riquezas de su vida interior? So, before we move on to, again, what you guys think about this poem, I want to basically, Luis, do you want to give it a go again, just one last time, now that we have the context?
Me or Miss Lois?
You, I think, you, Luis, if you want to. If not, I can do it.
No, I can read it for you.
Okay, so I want to see your take on this one.
Okay. Do you want me to read it in both English and Spanish?
No, but you can just go in English, and whoever's online, you can just follow in, like the Spanish, they have the handout just for the sake of time.
Órale. Light blue memories. Nadia Anjuman. Oh, exiles of the mountain of oblivion. Oh, the jewels of your names, slumbering in the mire of silence. Oh, your obliterated memories, your light blue memories, in the silty mind of a wave in the sea of forgetting. Where is the clear, flowing stream of your thoughts? Which thieving hand plundered the pure, golden statue of your dreams? In this storm which gives birth to oppression, where has your ship, your serene silver mooncraft gone? After this bitter cold which gives birth to death, if the sea should fall calm, if the cloud should release the heart's knotted sorrows, if the maiden of moonlight should bring love, offer a smile, if the mountain should soften its heart, adorn itself with green, become fruitful, will one of your names above the peaks become bright as the sun? Will the rise of your memories, your light blue memories, in the eyes of fishes, weary of floodwaters and fearful of the rain of oppression, become a reflection of hope? Oh, exiles of the mountain of oblivion.
That's sad.
I agree.
Luis, thank you very much. So again, now that we have the context of this poem, what do you guys think?
In the chat, Paola added, es muy triste, frustrante saber que en otros países las mujeres no tienen la libertad de expresarse y morir por una religión limitante, opresora y violenta.
Yeah, definitely right. And that's what it kind of the beginning, I found it really interesting that she mentions all the jewels of your names slumbering in the mire of silence, all your obliterated memories, your light blue memories, right? Like, and that goes with the type of poetry that we're saying, that's about a reflection of something that you miss, but you still love, even though it's a painful thing. They still love their country, and they still love some of the people in there, but still it's so much loss in this poem, right?
In the chat, San Juanita asks, ¿es por religión? Is this because of religion that, you know, there's a silencing? And I think it's fair to say that given the context of when and why this poem was written, you could in some ways say that it is because of a particular take on a specific religion. But it's not just that. It's not just because of the religion. It's a lot more than that. I mean, everyone, I think it's fair to say, everyone can agree that Islam is not inherently a bad religion. It's not a religion that inherently aims to denigrate women, to make women less than in terms of the hierarchy of society. It's just conservatism. It's a form of fascism and a form of censorship. So these are independent of religion. But given the context of the Taliban, you know, it is within, it's using religion as a means of justification for what they were doing at the time to women, and what now that they're back in power, they might continue to be doing.
Yeah, it's a political, also charged environment, right, that has a lot of countries involved and wars, and it's complex, but we still have the side effects of people being mistreated, in this case, women, right? And who else mentioned something in the chat? Oh, sorry, Mario went out.
Yeah, someone's audio went out. Roots' audio went out, but
Okay.
you know, and yes, it is the way it's interpreted. You know, it's the way in which a person living that experience is now reacting to it in the form of poetry. So.
Anybody else who wants to comment on this before we start moving on? Okay,
Does anyone have any like very strong reactions to this though? I see in the chat, San Juanita wrote, it definitely makes more sense when we know the context, but it is also nice to say what we see, right?
Oh yeah, that's why I wanted to give you the poem first and then see what you guys thought about it and then give you the context. I like doing that. But again, like we're talking about, like it's a node, it's clear parts of a node, which is the O, right? Luis, this is like, okay, this is kind of it. And then it has this weird way of talking to a certain degree that feels soothing and smooth. But then you hear those harsh words that are telling you this is not talking about fish or mountains, right? As I was telling you before, like we're talking about like oppression, right? That's not a word that should have belonged there. So it's kind of a way of using some contrast, right? And to give you like sense of this is not a poem of just mountains or fish. And so with this, let's move on. So we're gonna start with today's exercise. So everybody use your pens or your tablets or whatever you want to write. And here's the exercise. First, I'm gonna answer these questions. What is the oppression you have seen? And again, in life, in real life, or TV, newspaper, etc. Meaning like maybe Instagram, Facebook, I don't know, wherever you have seen oppression, right, taking place. Then who is the one being oppressed, right? Like in this case, women are the subject who is being oppressed, right? And the third question is, what would you say to them? Okay, so again, write it down, and whenever you have the answers, put them in the chat. But I just one text, don't do one answer and then another one, just put comma and then the next answer. They can start talking about that, right? So en español, es el ejercicio de hoy, ¿verdad? Ejercicio. Vamos a responder estas preguntas. ¿Cuál es la opresión que has visto en vida real, la televisión, los periódicos, etcétera? Etcétera me refiero en Instagram, alguien que les haya contado, Facebook, lo que sea, ¿verdad? Después, ¿quién es el oprimido? Como en este caso que estábamos viendo, son las mujeres el sujeto del poema. Después, ¿qué les dirías? Responde, ¿qué les diría a esas personas, a esos oprimidos, verdad? So, how much time do we give them, Luis? So, ¿cuánto tiempo les damos, Luis?
¿Qué decir? Unos 5 minutos.
Okay, you guys have 5 minutes.
Yeah. And keep in mind, you know, these don't have to be complete sentences, you know, just a list. That works for now.
Y como lo estaba diciendo en inglés, cuando acaben de escribirlas, pónganlas en el chat, pero solo en un solo mensaje, no vayan a poner diferentes mensajes si no hacemos bolas. Y there you go. Tic tac, tic tac, tic tac. And again, the questions are on the chat.
Mine's not working.
Your chat is not working?
I hit the chat and this then the questions come up in Spanish on me.
Do you just scroll up a little bit and maybe you will see the in English, maybe? Because he wrote it in Spanish and English.
No, it's...
Yeah, in the chat, I added both the English and the Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hitting on my computer, the chat on my laptop. I hit the chat and it has down here, type message here. I'll just answer mine in
Well, you can always obviously reference the screen. They're up on the screen as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
you can see them
I
on the
see
screen.
them, but can I just speak them out?
Once you have them already done.
I'm ready.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. It might seem old hat, but in my nightly prayers, I'm still praying for those children that were locked in the cages. Okay, so that's the oppression that I've seen, and I don't like it. And I don't care if they was black, white, purple, or green. I mean, that was so wrong. And so that's the oppression. The what do you call it? I don't know what you would call. They're incarcerated because some of those children haven't seen their parents in what 6 years, and that's not good. I took care of foster children. I know what, and I know what being homeless is. I've been there already, So, and then what would you say to them? I would know what to say except for pray for them. I would march for them, speak out for them, and then
Okay.
and so I have two of them I'm oppressed about.
Well, you have two things to work in, Ram.
No, it's about the boy that got beat up, and I heard him crying. They said he cried, "Mama," And I told my son, I says, if that was you that was happening to, I would have to get next to one of those policemen. I would have to touch him. Yes, Christian Lewis would have to touch him somewhere. So yeah, so the oppression of just someone being hurt, brutalized, from the news, these days are newspapers. I mean, the media. I just don't like people. You just don't hurt people.
I think my suggestion for you, Luis, while you're at it, find the cause of why are they being oppressed, and make sure you stick with one, because again, there's many ways why people can get beat up by the police or so on. So make sure you have that, so you can have a specific subject for it.
So it says, what is the oppression you have seen? And it could be in real life, in TV, or in the newspaper. And then it says, who is the one been oppressed, and what would you say to them? Okay, so answering your question, let me see, what is the oppression? I already explained that one, but who was the one that's being oppressed? And what was you saying to keep it in a focus?
Yeah, for example, the type of oppression that I think you were speaking at the beginning, it's basically either incarceration or of encampment, right? Like the Japanese encampment, or the Native Americans, or the Jews, right? That's the kind of, or the immigrants in this case that you were talking about, the kids who are probably immigrants, right? Or the foster homes.
No, the ones that was at the Mexican border.
Yeah, that's the immigrants that we're talking about.
Yeah, because when those, yeah. So I would say the mistreatment of immigrants. Okay.
Definitely, you got them there.
Yeah, because we're all immigrants except for the Native Americans. But
well,
I know
in
what
the context
saying,
of their excuse for telling them that they had to be incarcerated and separated from their families.
Yeah.
So, Luis, who else has finished their answers on the chat?
So
we have actually several people who've already started adding their answers.
Okay. Do we want to go through them?
Yeah. Those who have added to the chat, do you want to read it yourself?
Can you? It's a little tricky in this chat over here.
We have a hand raised from Maria.
Okay.
Yes, I wrote mine in the chat, and I typed, the oppression I have seen in my life has been systemic oppression against indigenous peoples. In particular, women and children are often exploited. I would say to them that they have allies and to stand fearless.
Excellent. Great stuff.
Oh, that sounds good.
Okay. Then we have who else?
You also have Miss Michelle.
Abraham, did you get it in the chat?
Yes, Elena, we got it in the chat.
Yeah,
thank you.
We're waiting for we're going through the list.
Okay.
Miss Michelle, would you like to read for us what you wrote?
Go a moment, okay, go a moment. What I wrote was this, just a minute, let's see. I have seen the oppression of BIPOC males, especially African American or Black males, by the law enforcement in America. You know, I spell it with a KKK for a reason. In the Scorpion Police Unit, for instance, in Memphis, Tennessee, 1 Caucasian and 5 Black American cops. Those 5 claim that they are not guilty. It's on all social media and all mediums in America as well as worldwide. The males are oppressed, and I would say to them that injustice still exists and has been for over 402 years. For over 402 years. And however, the injustice is unfair and out of envy because the racist cops think that we are beneath them. Actually, it's we that are better because the racists are they are racist and suffer from inferiority, envy, and frustration as well.
Okay, seems you get in there somewhere. Good.
Yeah,
the topic.
It's fueling the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully in a creative way.
Can I give another one?
Yes, it is.
Well, hold on. We have people still on there. You guys.
Okay.
It is
I'll wait to the end. I'll wait to the end.
It's in a creative way. And I have a comment also. I didn't hear all of it, but Malcolm X's daughters are reopening or talking about their father's death. Did anybody hear about that today? Because Malcolm X was assassinated in 1965, which was 58 years ago, and they're bringing it. I didn't hear the whole story about it, but the daughters are bringing that up for a reason, and I don't know why. And I would like to know what's happening with that. Anybody hear about that?
I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see if that does happen. See in the chat, and I see your hand raised also, Diana. So if you don't mind waiting, we'll continue with the chat, and then I'll let you go next. Sound good, Diana?
Yes, of course. Thank you, guys.
All right. So next in the chat is Paola. Paola, would you like to share for us? Oh, mic is not working.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Hold on a second.
No, I was speaking to Paola. But if it's okay with Paola, I'll read it for you. So Paola dice, los feminicidios a nivel mundial ha sido algo que en verdad me enfurece y entristece. Los oprimidos son las mujeres, ya sea por causas religiosas, ideología, machismo, etc. Y que no están solas y que las que quedamos seguiremos levantando la voz.
Good. Like de levantamos la voz. You probably used it. Excellent.
Yeah, that's a good line.
Mm-hmm.
Y luego sigue Nettie. Nettie, would you like to share what you wrote?
Yes, let me scroll through the chat. Okay. It's a long thread. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kids being bullied for being gay even when they're too young to know. I think I skipped some words. I think too fast. But I'm going to read it the right way. Kids being bullied for being gay even when they are too young to comprehend what gay means. Usually a physical, smaller, and frightened kid find an older friend or father figure who you're not afraid to ask for help and learn self-defense. You let your body and mind connect to stand up for yourself. I think I'm going to edit it. Yeah, but I like it. What do you think?
There you go. It's going some good direction there.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Elena, it's your turn now. Would you like to read for us what you wrote, Elena?
Yes, I will. Hold on, let me find it. It says, what I like to watch on TV as a YouTube person is because I don't care of how much a care provider you are and why do you keep open watching videos, and watching a video is a big issue. Why am I saying this if I don't care about what the people are saying? But I do care about what they say about me and what they think of me so they can see what I am doing or how they feel or how they look at me. I am not doing anything wrong and I am doing what I'm supposed to do. I just need help with my own business. So what I'm supposed to be able to do is to help people that I'm doing things like I have done for myself.
Excellent. Thank you, Elena.
Excellent topic.
Yeah. Seems like even Elena is feeling the emotion.
It's feeling
Proud
on
of you, Elena.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so let's see. I think are mostly caught up. Diana, you were next, and then San Juanita, if you would like to read yours. So Diana, whenever you're ready.
Okay, let me go. So the oppression that I've seen a lot is usually for the street vendors. That I've seen myself. It's like when they simply come from the other side of the border that we call now. These people come to work hard and come for a better life to sell food and flowers, and to simply be bullied around and have their carts broken. I will tell them that we are the original people of these lands and that those oppressors are envious of our ways and that this is a battle that they don't have to fight alone.
Damn, setting on fire.
I appreciate that there's a nice diversity of issues that people are bringing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. San Juanita, would you
Yeah,
like to share?
because what they just said was unacceptable. That's a big no-no.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Elena.
So I don't care whether you watch a video or not. I don't really care if you're not supposed to watch YouTube. Well, nobody cares.
Okay.
All
so
right. Thank you.
So mine, I wrote it, like if I was already going to start a poem, but of course, I don't even know that's the way I'm going to do it. But I'm going to read it like that. You little warrior who daily faces hurtful words, undeserved pain, a one-way street, in person and behind the screen. I tell you that everyone listens. All you have to do is let us hear you. And of course, this is after, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you heard about the little girl that was bullied, and then they uploaded a video of her, and when they were beating her up, and then she committed suicide. She was a 14-year-old. She was a senior. I don't know what I think. I'm not sure if it was in New Jersey, somewhere. I think in the East Coast. I'm not sure. I don't think it was here. But yeah, this is about those little kids that, they're often bullied, and we don't even know. Like as teachers, we can't see those things, and so. And this is for them that feel like, well, it says, I tell you that everyone listens, but they don't speak up, then we don't hear them. So I'm just telling them to speak up, to say something.
Yes, when they go to school, it's like they don't have to get educational or go to college, but unfortunately, they don't have the money for it. So
yeah.
Yeah, kids.
So I'm just running my own business and doing my thing.
Yep. So yeah, kids that are being bullied, that's definitely a oppressed section of the community, and telling them to speak up, that's definitely going in a good direction. And who else do we have, Luis, that we haven't addressed?
Exactly.
We're all caught up now. So
good. So now that we have worked it, let's move on to the favorite part of this class, homework. Okay, so here is the homework. Homework, write a poem using your answers, and then write it on Pen Cipher. So only the chosen can read it. Okay? So tarea, escribe un poema usando tus respuestas y luego escribiendo en Pen Cipher para que solo los elegidos puedan leerlo. So any questions so far on your homework?
I just added it to the chat too, just in case anyone wants to copy and paste.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to change it from the original statements that I made.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can change them. So I'm gonna stop sharing this. So maybe I can give you a quick tutorial on how to do the PicPen, just in case we have somebody missing some of the that. Okay, hold on. Let me share a different screen. Which is, I think it's this one. So let me know if you guys can see. Can you guys see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, I'm just gonna spell my name using PicPen, right? So we have. Oh, whoops. Oh, that's a big pen. Okay. So this is how we begin. We use. So basically, we're gonna use this A, right? That's an A. Then we're gonna have the B, which is this one, right? Then we're gonna have the R, which is this one, and we put a dot. The dots go always in the middle. Then we have another A. So A, then we have the H, right? Another A. Then M, which is this, right? So that's A, right? So that's PicPen. And you just keep on following the letters. The only thing I'm gonna recommend, try to make the spaces clean so people don't misread anything. And probably in the scene, we'll have a page where we have this, the PicPen cipher, and then all the poems. So anybody who's interested will try to actually discover what kind of poetry is hidden in each of your work. Right. Any questions?
Is that going to be on the handout?
It is on the handout.
Diagram?
Yeah, the diagram's in the handout.
So, yeah, it's on the, I think it's the third page of the handout that's posted to Google Classroom. So have access to it now. You can download it and reference it.
And again, for the Spanish speakers, for los que estamos hablando español, la forma de hacer la letra ñ va a ser así, punto, and then a line on the top. Because the N will be this. So that's N, right? That's the difference, right?
So Abraham, on your name where you spelled it, it looks like okay, it's gonna be backwards.
No. This is not backwards. The backwards one is the one that Da Vinci was using.
Okay. Because I'm looking
different.
at it and I'm seeing the A, and I don't see the representation up on the diagram.
The representation's over here.
I see that A.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's A. See?
But look how it's.
See? That's A. Let me change the color so you can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Hold on a second. So
and then
if you see it, like the diagram works this way, okay? That's A. So we have A here, right? And then the V is just the same as this, but it has the two walls. So that's B, right? And the R is over here again. And then the point is always go in the middle, but since they have the letter, that's why it looks like that, right?
Also, you're using the lines on the.
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to show.
Man.
Excellent. And then again, the A's, we already know them, right?
Okay, so
then we have the H. H is this one.
So
and the last was M.
So the C would look like a L, a capital L.
Let me see. Yes, you are correct. That's C.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. So not everybody can read it. They actually have to understand, and then people can read it.
The E is a box?
I'm sorry?
The E is a box?
The E, it's a box. Yes, this one.
Okay.
Yeah, the E is a box. The F is a capital L. Okay. So all of them in that line is going to be like capital letters.
Yes. And the only different thing is when you see under this, these are the different ones, right? The S is like a V. The W is like another B, but with a dot in the middle. And C is just basically on the opposite, like.
Yeah, it's like an arrowhead.
Right, exactly. So that's C.
Oh.
Right, and then X is
that's
this.
like in math. The minuses and the.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and that's how we end up with a Pigpen poem, right? It's gonna be a challenge. So my suggestion is don't create a super long poem. Maybe try to be try to make a small poem that will help you.
Okay, now on the end, that's a box. And so where would the dot go? At the bottom of the box?
No, the middle. All on in the middle. That's the easiest way. They just here in a different position because they wanted to put the letter. That's why they moved the dot.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. But as long as they have a dot, people will assume that it's that letter because the actual position of the dots don't really matter.
Right. So, and, there's a couple of people asking in the chat, if they want to write it in reverse, as in like mirrored, that's also acceptable.
It's acceptable, but it's going to be too easy.
The main point is, these instructions are just as a point of inspiration. Where you take it is wherever it goes.
And it's the three questions, right? The three questions.
Right.
Yeah, the questions, 3 questions, use them to create a poem. Okay. And then once you have that poem finalized, transform it into Pigpen. And that's the one we're going to publish. So the people who get the book, they will try to look for the answer, right? That's the point. And not just anybody. They have to actually care.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you all.
Okay.
We also have a hand up from Nettie. Nettie, you have a question or comment?
Sorry, my bad. I think I just get that raised. Let me go ahead and read that.
I think there were some other comments or questions in the chat. Yes, Da Vinci wrote with quills. Se puede escribir al revés, as I said. You don't have to write forward and backwards. You can just write backwards. Obviously, you would need to write it forwards the first time, but you can turn it in backwards.
Also, the thing is, the poem is not actually written like the last letter because it's at the beginning. It's actually written the opposite direction. So the M is not gonna be like M. It's gonna be like this, right? So it's not exactly changing just from one side to the other. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, mirrored.
Yeah, it's a mirror.
One thing to keep in mind, if you do end up doing the Pigpen style poem, you will probably have to do it by hand and then scan it and send it to us as a scanned image, because that would be a little more challenging, I think, to do it digitally.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just use a piece of paper. You can even take a photo with your phone and send it if you think about it.
Yeah,
no biggie. Just make it clean.
Yes, just make it legible enough for us to be able to see it. See, to answer Heidi's question, Pigpen is the name of the code that we're showing on the screen right now.
Yeah, the style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a way of replacing letters. It's a type of replacement because there's other types. For example, remember the old phones that have like digits that you press 1, 2, 3 and it creates a letter? It's a different type, right? It's, if you think about it, it's also replacing a letter for dots, like times of press number 2, basically, right?
Yeah. So that's where Pigpen comes from. It's the name of this type of code. And then the chosen, as it's written in the writing prompt, just means for the people that know the code. There's nothing more than just that. This is for the people that will have access to the key, so they can decipher your code.
Yeah, because basically we're talking about censorship. So this is a way. So if you don't want somebody to read the work that's not meant to read it, this is one way of hiding, right?
Right.
So avoid censorship.
Yeah. So does that answer your questions, Heidi? I see you still have your hand raised.
Yeah. Thank you. My question about my homework about I finish poem first. Second, I found this code. 然后 take a picture. You mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Right. But my question about the second. So, as the choice, what is intuition? CHOSEN.
Yeah, the chosen just means for the people that have access to the code. So they're the chosen.
The selected ones, basically.
The selected, yes. Yeah. The selected few, the chosen few, the special, you know. So it doesn't mean anything other than just for the people that know how to read the code. Yeah. That's it.
This means this guy can reading this poem using this code.
Yeah. And the code is going to be on the scene. So people actually, they just have to go through the process of translating the code into a poem. That's the interesting part.
Right.
Yes. My question about which subject you didn't have subject, I can ready understand after I transfer for this code. This means?
No, the subject of the poem is in response to the questions that we were asking during the presentation.
Yeah. Who's being impressed?
The handout is all available on Google Classroom. You can download the handout. Okay. You can see this code. You'll have access to the code, and you'll also have access to the questions that you were supposed to answer. And then using your questions, the answers to those questions, you then write a poem that you then translate using the code that we've provided you.
Yeah. Okay. But this is code. Difficult to make this code. So, you maybe I did draw on the paper for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you start working on it, it's gonna come up to you, and you're like, oh, this is easy. Just replacing words for basically shapes. If you think about it.
Yeah.
Where question? Where is question?
It's on the handout. They're also in the chat now. If you want to scroll back.
Yeah,
you'll see them on the chat, but they're everything that you need is in the handout that is currently on Google Classroom. And later when I upload this video to YouTube, I'll upload it all together in one place as well. So you'll have two different ways to access the handout on Google Classroom.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And then again, just to reiterate, just to repeat myself, obviously, you will have to do this by hand when you do the translation using the code. So if you do it by hand, just make sure that you do it nice and clean so that we can read it, and you can take a picture or you can scan it, and that's how you turn it in. There's no need to mail it to me or anything like that. Just take a picture, share it with your assigned cohort, and then everyone will have access to it that way.
And you can also send, I guess, the regular version just in case.
Yeah.
So we can just double check.
Yeah, we can. Yeah,
have both the image of Pigpen and then the text, and that way, just in case misunderstanding of like a space or something, that will clear it up.
Right. And then there's a question about creating your own Masonic language. If you want to do that, if you want to create your own code, that is acceptable. Just obviously provide us with the key so that way we can translate it for ourselves.
That's a lot of them.
Yeah. And again, if this is going to be something that you choose to publish in the next Conchas y Café zine, whether you're using the Pigpen code or you create your own, the Pigpen code will be printed in the zine for everyone to reference. That way they can crack your code. And also, if you create your own, you'll need to provide me with your code so that it can be also included. So yeah, hope that answers everyone's questions.
Can't wait to see what they come up with.
I know, right? So any other questions? Is everything clear?
No, only thank you. Always I can write thank you for everyone. HANK. I can find this.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Michelle.
I noticed that Abraham wrote his in red. If you use different color inks, I mean, when you submit it, is using a different color ink important or not important? It doesn't matter. Ink
That
color.
was more just for reference. It was more for, everyone's ability to see on the screen what he was doing.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
So that should be thank you over there, the next one, the one that I just put on. I actually have the font, which is really
I
fun.
take a picture. I take my phone, take a picture. I always need more study because I always struggle in the class. I didn't understand detail after I can finish that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're always welcome to check the notes and the videos that we post. If you feel like you missed something, always try to rewatch or read the handouts. That will help you.
Yeah, totally. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. I'm going to bed.
All right. Good night, Alina. And as a little reminder for everyone that's watching on the live stream, that watches this afterwards, and those of you in class now, if you have work that you are ready to submit for publication, you can do so by going to our website at dstlarts.org/Conchas y Café. There you'll be able to find all the information that you need. So, yeah. And if there are no more questions, that'll do it for tonight. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Abraham, for a really fascinating class.
Thank you very much. This will be fun to do. Thank you, Louise. Thank you, Abraham.
Get to work, people. Get to work.
Yeah, but you're like by the boss. Your teacher is good, but we don't like homework because it work. No. I like homework.
All right. Well, that's supposed to be the fun part. So. All right, everyone. So that'll be it. We'll call it a night. Take care.
Okay, and I'll see you
Awesome.
tomorrow, Louise.
All right, man. Bye.
See ya.